Hello, students, and welcome to our third lesson of science. We continue with the science process skills, right? The science process skills. We continue with science process skills. And in the beginning of our lesson, let's listen and sing our science song, all right? What is science? What is science? Let's sing our song.
Evidence is like a clue that something is true. Scientists collect evidence through observations and experiments. Scientists use evidence to understand the world around us. Around us. We need evidence to help us support our ideas. The more evidence we have, the stronger our idea is. Scientists use evidence to understand the world around us. Around us. Evidence is like a clue that something is true. Scientists collect evidence through observations and experiments. Scientists use evidence to understand the world around us. Around us.
All right, so science is about world around us, yeah? And to explore and study science and world around us, we should follow the scientific method. One more time all together, scientific method, the scientific method. All right, 5 steps of scientific method. Step number 1. Please tell me what is first step of the scientific method. Asking questions, right? Asking questions. Step number 2. Who remember? Who can tell me what is step number 2? Predicting the answers. Repeat after me. Predicting the answers. All right. Step number 3. Gathering information. Right? Gathering information, or do a test or experimentation. Right? And number 4, do you remember what is number 4? After experimentation and gathering information, we make studying the information or analyze data, right? Studying the information. One more time, repeat after me. Studying the information. All right. And number 5, do you remember step number 5? Drawing conclusions, right? Drawing conclusions, making an observation, ask a question, forming hypothesis, and make prediction, right? Do a test or experimentation, analyze data, and draw conclusion. This is scientific method, all right? So what about the science process skills? What about science process skills? Let's review our last lesson, right? So first, we already write it that number 1 is observing, right? Observing. One more time, observing. Yeah, and for observing, we use our 5 senses. So taste, and we use mouth with tongue for taste. We use our hand for touch. We use our ears for hearing, and we use our nose for smelling. Yeah. Also, we use eyes to see things around us. So sight. Yeah. And when we observe when we observe world around us, we ask questions. Yeah. What kind of questions we ask? Let's review it. All right. So how does the object feel? Repeat after me. How does the object feel? How does the object feel? We use hand to touch object and answer the question, right? So next question, what color is the object? Repeat after me. What color is the object? And we use sight, yeah, or eyes to identify color. So next question, how does the object taste or smell? Yeah, and we use our mouth with tongue, so and nose, yeah, to smell. And what does the object sound like, right? And we use our ear to hear sound around us. All right, so This is observing, yeah? The sign process skill number 1 is observing. So let's summarize and recap all this information with the next video, right?
People are curious by nature. They want to know things about the world around them. People can learn about the world by making observations. Making observations, or observing, means using your senses to notice things. Humans have 5 senses: taste, touch, hearing, smell, and sight. When a person observes something, they are using their 5 senses to notice an object's characteristics. Size, color, shape, texture, and weight are some characteristics that can be observed through the senses. Take this object, for example. You can use your sense of sight to see its shape and color. It has a rectangular shape and a reddish color. You can also see the size of the object. You can use your sense of touch to help you observe the object's texture and weight. This object is light enough to pick up, but it would feel rather heavy in your hands. Texture is how the surface of an object feels. The surface of this object feels rough. Your sense of hearing can also help you make an observation about the object's texture. Tapping the object on a table or hitting it with a hammer makes a sound. This tells you that the object is hard. All of these observations help you recognize that this object is a brick. Now, observe this object. Again, you can use your sense of sight to observe the object's size, shape, and color. It is pink in color. It is small enough to pick up, so it is not very large. But it is also not tiny. The object is shaped like a heart. What would your sense of touch tell you about this object? The texture is very soft and fluffy. It is easy to pick up, and the weight feels light. The object also feels squishy and can be bent. If you tap it on the table or hit it with a hammer, it would not make much sound. This is your sense of hearing telling you that the object is soft. The characteristics you have observed help you recognize that this object is a pillow. Now, observe one last object. What characteristics can you use your sense of sight to notice? You can see that the object's size is small. You can fit it in your hand. You can also see the object's color. It is light brown and has black specks. Using your sense of touch, you can observe that the weight of the object is light. The texture feels a bit bumpy on top, and the sides of the object have ridges. The object is also soft. You can break it easily with your fingers. If it were fresh from the oven, the object would also feel warm. You can use your sense of smell to observe objects as well. This object smells sweet. Your sense of taste will tell you that the object also tastes sweet, like chocolate and sugar. Your observations tell you that this object is a muffin. When you are making observations, try asking yourself questions that relate to your senses. How does the object feel? What color is the object? How does the object taste or smell? What does the object sound like? These are all great questions to ask yourself. Making observations is a useful skill that can help you describe objects by their characteristics.
Okay, now we know a lot about observation and our five senses. And also we know everything about part of the body, what we use to observe things around us. Okay, continue with our science process skills. Okay, and next one, number two. Number one was observing. Number two is classifying. So take your pen and continue writing in your copybook. Number two, after observing, next science process skill is classifying. Repeat after me, classifying. So write it down. Number two, classifying. Okay, you can pause the video, make note, and continue. All right, so what is classifying? Classifying, what is classifying? Let's discover it from the next video.
When we look at a group of objects, we can sort the objects into groups. Once we've sorted the objects into the right groups, we can count how many objects there are in each group. The first thing we should do before we start sorting is to look at the objects and the names of the groups. It looks like we'll be sorting some animals into different groups. It looks like we have those awesome elephants and beautiful bears again. Awesome. Let's start group by group, or in this case, animal by animal. We'll find and sort all of the same type of animal before moving on to the next. After we've sorted all of the animals, we can count how many elephants and bears there are in their groups. We can start with the elephants and then move on to the bears. Let's get started. Here's an elephant. Awesome. Let's put him in the group for elephants. Can you find any more elephants to sort? Aha! Here's another elephant. Let's put him in the group of elephants too. Are there any more elephants? I see a few more. Let's put them all in the group of elephants too. Now there's no more elephants. Let's move on to the bears. Here's the first bear. Let's put him in the group for bears. Can you find any more bears to sort? Here's some more bears. Let's put all of these bears in the group for bears. Now that we've correctly sorted our animals, let's count how many of each kind there are. How many elephants are there? How many bears are there? Let's count and find out. Let's count the elephants carefully to find out how many there are. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elephants. That's awesome. There are 5 elephants. How about the bears? How many bears are there? Let's count the bears carefully to find out how many there are. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bears. Wow, great job. Let's try to sort and count one more group of objects. We'll get started together, but I'll ask you to finish sorting and counting these objects on your own during challenge time. This time, the groups will be different, so we'll have to pay close attention to the details. Here, we have a group of shapes. We'll be sorting them into triangles and circles. Let's use the same strategy as before and sort group by group, or in this example, shape by shape. Let's get started with triangles. After we've sorted our shapes, we can count them. Here's the first triangle. Let's put it in the group for triangles. Are there any more triangles? Well, now it's your turn. I'll leave you with a challenge. I want you to finish sorting the shapes into 2 groups and count how many of each shape there is when you're done. I'll give you some time to think, but if you need more time, you can pause the video and answer when you're ready. Okay, here's the answer. Here's the other triangles. Let's put them all in the group for triangles. Now we can find all the circles. Here's the first circle. Let's put it in the group for circles. And here's the rest of the circles. They all belong in the group for circles too. Now that there's no more shapes left, let's count how many triangles there are first. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. Nice. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. Great work. Remember, boys and girls, to sort carefully before you count how many objects are in each group.
So you know now how to sorting and count objects, right? So it's the part of classifying. Classifying is the second part of the science process skills. Okay, so take your pen, please. Open your copybook or notebook and take your pencil or pen, all right, and write down the definition. Number 2 is classifying. What is classifying? Classifying is sorting things by rules, right? Sorting things by rules. So take your pen and write down. Classifying is sorting things by rules. And repeat after me. Classifying is sorting things by rules. Right? Classifying is sorting things by rules. Okay, you can pause the video and finish writing. Okay, when you finish writing, continue watching video. All right, so I give you examples, all right, about sorting from previous video. For example, we have bears and elephants, and we can sort them or classify, yeah, sorting them by rules. We have rule bears and elephants, right? So in the left corner, in the left column, we put all elephants. On the right corner, on the right column, we put bears, right? So we classify these objects, right? Elephants and bears. So we have separate elephants and bears, right? This is example we just watched in video. And another one, triangles and circles, right? By rule, we're sorting, classifying objects by rules. First rule is circles, second rule is triangles, okay? So one group triangles, second circles, and we split them into different groups. All right, one more example. For example, we have different cars, yeah? Let's split them, let's classify them. But how to classify them? We have to choose rule, right? Rule. How to classify them, how to sort these objects. For example, we can sort them by color, okay? Look at the picture. How many blue color do you see? How many blue cars here? How many blue cars? And how many red or orange red cars? How many red cars do you see? All right, so here 2 blue cars and 3 red cars. So we classifying this object by rules of color, and we choose blue and red. All right, so we can classify them in different way. So let's choose different rule. Okay, let's classify them by size. All right, on the left side we put big cars, and on the right side we put small cars. What do you think? How many big cars here? How many big cars on the picture? And how many small cars? We have 2 small cars and 3 big cars. So we classify this object by rule of size, all right? And we choose big one and small ones, all right? So this is classifying. So now you know two science process skills. Number one is observing from previous lesson, and number two, classifying. So this is it for today. Now you have to make some practice, okay? So find worksheet number 3 and complete worksheet number 3. Okay, thank you for the lesson. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.